I am recording as well.
All right. Let's do a little.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have
Wow.
to edit out some coughing.
Oh, Jesus. Not
Go with diet.
again. It's all right. I edit out my own coughing, so I'm sure I can do yours too. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. 3, 2, 1. That was pretty good.
That was synced.
That was good. That was good.
In sync. Like my tree. My tree's got lights on it this week, Len.
It does. It's very Christmassy.
It's got ornaments on it too. You just can't see them.
Yeah. You got any video game ornaments on that tree?
I got an Angry Birds ornament back there. My son got that last Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got I think I have a Pac-Man machine, like a little one, and
Nice.
a Galaga machine.
Not a full-sized one.
No, but it does make some noise. It's battery operated, and it does the little Pac-Man sounds and the Galaga sounds.
Nice.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
I had no idea where we were going with that.
I don't have a Christmas tree.
No Christmas tree?
What's wrong with you?
What?
I'm a single dude. I have a 65-inch TV and a 55-inch TV in my house right now for some dumb
Jesus,
reason.
man.
We'll
Look
just
at that-
little,
look at that curve.
you do a watch.
Tune into the Yule Log channel there for a while, and you'll be
Yeah, in 4K.
festive
I can-
enough.
It's got. I was actually surprised how much 4K content there is on Netflix and on Amazon.
Really?
Prime Instant Streaming. Yeah, like a bunch
I
of
didn't
their
know that.
movies, like newer movies, actually stream in 4K through the app that's built into the TV, which is really nice.
Cool.
So that's why I'm blowing through my data cap in half a month.
Yeah, that's
You don't have that up there. Be thankful.
Nope. No, I'm on Comcast, but they're talking about doing it in the Boston area, and if they do it, like I'm totally just gonna pay the extra $30 to get unlimited bandwidth. I'm totally okay with that. Like I'll pay $100 a month.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that $30 thing is only in like 2 markets. Like they're doing they're testing
Oh.
data caps in a bunch of markets, but the
Mhm.
pay 30 extra bucks is only in like Florida and Atlanta. That's it. So
What a great company. I really just I love championing Comcast. They always do the right thing.
I cannot wait to get away from them. I can't wait. Oh, there's no other option in Atlanta.
Well,
Unless you
AT&T
want
is spreading their legs.
Less than
So.
half the speed.
Well, AT&T is starting to
Did you
do
say
gigabit,
AT&T is spreading their legs?
stretching their legs, maybe.
There you go.
Is that what I meant?
Yeah.
No, they're spreading their legs of gigabit bandwidth. They're
That
letting
sounds
more
like
people.
Comcast is spreading your legs.
No, they're letting more people get access to the gigabit, so everyone can, try it out. So, thanks for catching that. All right.
Hello and welcome to episode 475 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, December 15th, 2015. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, the only member of the cast that is here and can be designated as always, Mr. Greg Stewart.
I'm not going to be here next week.
What? What? And filling in for Mr. Phil Theobald, who is trapped on a Ferris wheel at a Christmas fair.
Who's attending a last-minute Christmas fair? A spontaneous Christmas fair.
It just happened to pop up. So with us this week, filling in for Phil, Mr. Kevin Larrabee. Hello.
Hello, guys. You're saving me from the absolute train wreck / garbage fire that is the WWE ELC pay-per-view, which stands for, of course, tables, ladders, and chairs. Last year it also was and stairs, but no stairs this
Whoa.
year. No stairs.
Safety reasons.
Yeah, so safety reasons, and it's just you gotta
just-
kind of bring
it's
it
like-
when you need it to.
Was it the worst match ever when the Undertaker stopped to build a set of stairs in the middle of the ring?
Yeah, he took out his Lego blocks and he was
Yeah.
building a set of stairs with his child.
Kept
And
going to the crowd, like putting his finger up. Wait, just
1 second, guys.
Give me a second here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a train wreck. So thank you guys for saving me from what is probably going to be the worst thing ever.
Sure, and thank you for joining us on such short notice. And by short notice, I mean Phil emailed
Nice.
us.
oh, I thought it was just a short joke.
Oh, yeah, both.
Great.
Both, really.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. All right, so hey, it's mid-December. What do you know about that? We got some things happening this week, right? I mean, you know,
There's some movie
And-
coming out
and-
soon that I think people are.
anticipated releases, and the first thing I want to talk about, of course, is King's Quest,
Mm-hmm.
which is free right now on PS Plus for the PS4. You should go and download it. And the second episode comes out on Tuesday.
Very awesome. The first
That
episode
is-
was great.
Very exciting. Yeah, first episode's great. You can try it for free if you're on PS Plus, which you definitely will want to do. So check that out. And if that's not enough, it's also the week that Parappa 2 comes out on the PS4. So we were talking about PlayStation 2 emulation last week. Everyone seemed to be a fan of it. Everyone. And we're getting Parappa 2, which
PS1 game, right?
Parappa
No.
2 is a PS2 game. And,
Okay.
and I think I reviewed that game. It's very short. It's very short. I didn't like it particularly. It's
Yeah, I
very
was gonna
short.
say, I don't have really fond memories of that game at all.
There's only one song that is even catchy. It's the burger song, like in the fast food McDonald's type
Mhm.
looking place. It's very short, and it's just not very good.
No.
Mm.
Very good at all. Not a
know,
good
I-
follow-up to
I-
Jammer Lammy,
first
which was so good. Jammer. Love that.
That's right. I apologize. You're right. That was the PS1 game. Okay.
Yeah. But I'll probably end up getting Parappa 2 on PS4.
You're gonna drop $15 on this?
God
No.
damn it, Johnston.
Now, wait a second.
Jesus
We started
Christ.
talking about $15 last episode. I want to clarify. Some of those are $10.
Yeah, that makes all
Mark
the
of,
difference in the
Mark
world.
of Cree is $10, and there were only like a couple of releases that are 15. So let's not get crazy. It's $10. $10 for $10 is usually
What I will say is
the point where
That-
I'll buy.
we're not actually getting completely screwed over up here in Canada. The prices are actually $10 and $15 Canadian as well,
Oh,
which is
Mm.
surprising, to be honest.
it's an even better deal for you.
It is a
Yeah.
good deal. Not as good as, just letting me put my CD right in the CD drive.
Was that ever really going to happen though?
I don't care.
And would that be more important for PS2 games or PS3 if they were to
More
do it?
important for anything I still own. How about that?
Because PS2 we're talking about 2 generations old
Mm-hmm.
at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. All right. Oh, and some movie comes out on Friday, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So, yeah, there's that.
I will say before we move on, what is a good deal
Mhm.
is PlayStation Now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't hear it.
I brought that up last week with my
I
terrible.
know, and I'm just bringing it up now because no one was listening to you last week. Actually, what was happening is I couldn't hear you, honestly.
know,
I was
I
listening. I also mentioned that it was $99, right? It was,
I really wasn't listening to you. I
limited
couldn't
time
hear
thing?
Kevin. I wasn't listening to you.
oh,
No, anyway.
gosh.
I tried it. I tried it out this week, based on the fact that you guys brought it up last week, and it was just
Yeah.
kind of funny because a week earlier than that, we were on here talking about how they needed to get to like a Netflix sort of price range before it would be worth it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and here
And
we
they
are.
did.
So, and it runs. I mean, I remember testing it out ages ago, but the game selection on it wasn't great. But I was playing around with
Yeah.
the 7-day. There's a 7-day free trial going on right now, and yeah, it's pretty nice, and it runs pretty well. I mean, there is lag.
Sure.
There's definitely lag, but for the most part, it runs really nicely.
Mhm.
And for $99 a year, it's pretty great.
And you're on wireless?
Yeah, no, I'm not on wireless. I have my system hardwired.
Oh, interesting.
The way the Wi-Fi is set up in this house, the router is actually on the other end of the house, so I don't even bother.
Okay, so it is wireless.
No, I'm telling you that I have No, the house is wired in every room.
Oh wow.
I do have wireless, but
Okay, I
the
understand.
router for the wireless is on the other end of the house.
I was just curious because I actually did a lot of PlayStation Now stuff maybe like 6 months ago, like a couple months after they launched because they had again like a 7 day or 2 week free trial or
Mm.
something like that, and I thought it ran incredibly well. Like playing, I think I was playing like The Last of Us on it. I played just a bunch of stuff, and I thought everything ran great, but I was going Ethernet like right into my router, so I
Yeah.
don't know if it was like a wireless thing for you, but
I was playing BioShock Infinite actually, just trying that
Mhm.
out, and it felt a little floaty, but
Sure.
not like not enough that it really mattered to me. I would guess if you're somebody who played online shooters a lot, you'd really notice it,
Yeah.
but I could feel it, but it didn't bother me. But yeah, as for that price, I mean, I think I'm probably gonna jump in just to be able to have a bunch of games there that you can try.
You're
Yeah.
going to drop
Like
$100 on it?
less than $10 a month. It's not bad.
But I think this is the right price, but I think they should not be doing it for $99 for a year. They should just start. They should make it
1 month.
$9.99 a month.
I would agree with that. Although it's funny because I got the notification that at the end of the 7-day trial, it would charge my credit card $20. I wasn't really clear on what the $20 was giving me, but
I
yeah,
think it's $20 a month unless you do like a 3 month plan or
yeah.
a 1 year plan. So
I mean, I'll have to cancel that up front, but still, for $100 a year, you're right. It would be nice to have monthly billing at that
Would be.
rate,
Yeah.
for sure. But still, it's a good price.
Mhm.
I agree. Although if you have a backlog of games that you haven't played, you have the physical disc, and then you're also paying $100 a
Yeah,
year
it's
to
true.
play PS3 games. It's kind of, I don't know. For
Yeah,
me,
just
it's not worth it, but I can totally see it for people who just own Sony TVs that have the thing built in there, or
Mhm.
if you have a PlayStation. I think PlayStation TV does it, doesn't
It
it? Or
does. That's how I was playing that stuff.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah.
Man, that makes that
So
PlayStation TV an even better deal if you can find one.
well, they're still selling them for cheap now
Yeah, they're
on Amazon.
$40.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
indeed. So Star Wars,
Hell yes.
you guys
I
seen
wanna
it
see
this
it.
week?
I'm seeing it Friday night.
Saturday
Huh?
here.
Yeah, I don't have tickets. I don't have plans to go see it yet. I gotta get on that, right?
Have you guys done your rewatch of the previous, or I guess the original three movies? Or I know everyone has their own special
Right.
order or cut, or like honestly, the amount of crybaby crap of people complaining about like the remake versions or like the 1997 version of these movies. Like, guys, it's okay. It's like 5 minutes of extra footage, if that, in the movie.
Well,
You can fast
well,
forward.
let me stop you right there because we rewatched the Star Wars Special Edition, the New
Here we
Hope
go.
Special Edition. That one I think is the worst of them because I think you're right with Empire and Jedi. Like the changes are minimal in those.
Right.
A New Hope, they added all these weird CG scenes that don't make
Tatooine.
sense.
Yeah.
Like in the entire background, everything's moving, like the dewbacks and
Well, it's so much. It's such a warning against what he was gonna do in the prequels.
right,
that's just it, like,
exactly.
It's like let's have a million moving pieces in every scene.
And some of it looks good, but then you
Most of
get
it
the
hasn't aged well.
dewbacks who are like, oh, we got to make them roar in every single scene. Like,
Yeah,
no, you don't.
yeah.
So it's just 1997 CG. Like those are the rules. You had to make it look.
And it looks like shit now.
It looks
It totally looks like shit
absolutely
now.
crap now.
Yeah.
And so do the original trilogy. At least the Phantom Menace. Very
Oh.
little of that looks like. I mean, it just doesn't look good anymore.
I don't think I've seen that since the early 2000s.
If you watch it again, you'd be, I mean, it's not everything, but anything that's supposed to look organic
Doesn't.
look good now. It just
Mhm.
doesn't.
That's too bad.
Again, I'm over exaggerating, but my whole point is like literally, like you said, you're right. It's the worst in A New Hope, and then I rewatched Empire Strikes Back, and I'm gonna watch probably Jedi this week, and like there's really not much in Empire Strike Back. If anything, they fixed a lot of the stuff, like the snow speeder stuff when
Yep.
they see through like the shade
Yeah,
and
right.
stuff. Like they
That
fixed
stuff's
a lot
great.
of that. And
I like that they made Cloud City look
Yes.
oh, it looks beautiful.
like
Yeah.
Cloud City, you know, like
I agree.
rather than just
with
running
that.
through white corridors all over the place.
Mhm. I'm incredibly excited about this movie.
Me too.
I can't
Oh,
wait
yeah.
to see it.
The trailers look good. It looks like it'll be an entertaining film, regardless of whether it's a good Star Wars movie or not, or whatever.
George Lucas doesn't like it, right?
That can only be good.
I was going to say that's kind of got me excited for the film.
That's good. That's good news. Exactly.
I mean, J.J. Abrams has really not done much wrong in his career, and speaking of him, I've been rewatching Fringe and just like how good. I know he wasn't directly involved; he just did like an executive producer thing. But man, like pretty much everything that guy's touched since Alias has been great, good if not great. So I have plenty of faith in that guy to do it. And Disney doesn't let stuff come out poorly; they just don't. Except for Tomorrowland, which was like 70% good. I actually liked most of that movie.
Except for Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet, yeah.
What's Treasure Planet?
Exactly.
There you go.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw this on Saturday Night Live this weekend. They did a Star Wars toy commercial that was pretty hilarious. I'll put it in the show notes. I don't want to spoil too much of it. It's a toy commercial as if it was directed with the age group that normally buys toys and adult collectors, and it's hilarious.
Can I make like it had? I almost saw a little bit of an analogy to Amiibos, maybe a little bit. Like,
absolutely.
Man, like I'm not saying I know people that may listen to this, but like people that do get one Amiibo to take out of the package and they get one to keep in the package.
Are you talking about Hacker Alias Levity NYC? Maybe.
I'm not talking about no one.
Okay, you don't want to specify, but
you can do what you want with your money. I'm just saying it's just funny.
I also own 2 of the Pac-Man Amiibo, so
That's
one
fine.
is still in the box.
That's cool.
I'm just saying. I did it for one Amiibo, though. Let's be clear. Just one.
Did you get a copy of that new Devil's Third? Did you get 2 copies of that? One to
Devil's Turd.
sealed, and then
No.
one to
That's
open to
gonna be
play?
worth a lot someday.
I have no interest in buying
Any
that
of the
game.
Gaki stuff?
or even like games just to keep them in the box because they are probably going to be rare. And I think we kind of talked about this maybe with that Rodea the Sky Soldier thing, where the first printing has both the Wii U and the Wii game in there. I just don't do that. And the Xenoblade Chronicles X thing, I don't buy limited editions anymore for the reason that I just don't want to be that collector guy anymore.
Yeah, you got tons of
That's
stuff
hilarious.
behind you,
With
man.
all that stuff behind
Exactly.
you, that is the funniest.
This is stuff from the past, see? I don't want to... No more Halo cat helmets for me and the like.
Is there a Halo Cat helmet at the top of one of those shelves?
No. It's in the basement. Of course. I still have it. I mean, I'm not...
It's a collectible.
I know, exactly.
They didn't have those for $50 like that Christmas. That's how I got mine.
Yeah, really.
Oh, did you see this past week? I think Amazon had the Halo 5 like limited thing for $150 or 100, whatever it was.
They had it for $99.
$99. Okay, it was originally $250 about a month ago. The game came out.
Don't buy that shit, guys. Like,
no.
Come on.
Unless it's being made by NIS or Atlas and it's a limited edition, then you're fine.
But even like Persona Q, the 3DS like special edition was $33, and that launched at like $70. There's still copies of that. I think the only kind of like limited edition stuff is stuff that Nintendo publishes. Like that's the only real limited edition stuff these days is what Nintendo is putting out, or 20th anniversary PlayStation 4. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Because they get it. Like those, remember those new 3DSs, like the Zelda 3DSs, how hard those were to get, and people are freaking out not getting the Majora's Mask 3DS. So.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Who are you guys into MST3K at all? or this conversation would have been best with Phil.
All I've seen of that show is what I saw at your place.
Well, they succeeded in their Kickstarter, and they raised something like over $6 million to make new episodes of MST3K. They're doing 14 episodes now.
Cool.
So the original goal was to do something like 2 or 3, but yeah, they went over. So that's good news. I'm all for the reboot of that. But
have you seen Jerry O'Connell's video to kickstart a Sliders movie?
oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I have to see this.
Okay, I'll send you. You can put it in the show notes and stuff. But there's Jerry O'Connell does like a video. It's like, we need to finish the story of Sliders. Like, we're gonna get everyone back. We're gonna get like the fat professor back. We're gonna get everyone. Like, it was. Yeah, that's kind of how he did it. So, Jerry O'Connell trying to be funny, not always awesome, but Jerry O'Connell in the first 3 seasons of Sliders, pretty good.
Okay, I'd rather kickstart a reboot of Small Wonder than watch more Sliders.
They could totally do it today with this like CG, like Almost Human. Another.
Yep. Oh, that was a great show.
Yeah,
I loved that show.
That was an awesome show that only got 1 season, and it was like having a TV show of Dread almost.
It was. Yeah. That's a great movie too. That Dread movie. Anyway.
Dude, that was the first movie I watched on my brand new TV because it has the 3D version on the same disc as the regular version, and I realized your friend's cool, CJ, but 3D movies on TVs suck.
Okay. I will let him know.
What?
Because it's 60 frames per second.
Just because your TV has that weird warping issue that they.
No, this is a $2,000 TV. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Like it's because it runs at like a smooth, non-film-like picture.
Now, the guy I know who is all in on 3D does say that it's best for animation.
That makes sense.
Live action stuff is just not as good, and I would agree with that. But I'm not interested in 3D anyway. So
I think it's best for video games.
Yeah.
True.
So we got that Star Wars thing coming out this week, and apparently attached to the movie, we get a trailer for the new Independence Day. And the trailer is now online. You can watch it. I'll link to it in the show notes. Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
No.
Now, I am not a fan of the original Independence. I mean, I like
you have somewhat decent taste.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's good, kind of thing. And my wife loves it because she thinks it's a great movie and an entertaining movie. So, but this trailer actually looks pretty good. I will say. What? Wait, hold on. I think I sense that Kevin, you are a fan of Independence Day.
Oh, I think it's a great movie. I saw that opening weekend, and it's a great action movie. It still holds up today. The CG is actually still pretty good in it, and I mean it has.
Let's upload that virus file to the mainframe.
The PowerBook was an elite laptop. Like that thing, if you're gonna hack into an alien's mothership, you weren't gonna use like your Dell Inspiron. You're gonna use a PowerBook, but it has like the most Jeff Goldblum since Jurassic Park. So
I agree with that.
It's really, really good. It is like not a great piece of art, but it is a fun movie that you can totally watch like every couple of years. Like, oh man, it's July 4th. Let's watch Independence Day, and still have a good time because Will Smith is really good in it. And it's a bummer they couldn't get him back for the new one.
I wonder if it was just money, or if he was like, no, not doing.
He did Men in Black 3. Like, sure, like if they gave him enough money, he would have done it. But I guess the way that they're gonna like kind of have his spirit in the movie is like not his real life son, but his son in the movie universe that you saw in the first one grows up to then basically just be a photocopy of his father, I guess.
I like to think his response to being asked to be in the second movie was like, even I have standards.
He's been in some After Earth.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wild Wild West, which actually
Wild Wild West.
has a really good intro.
I'll be honest. I actually like the song.
Oh yeah,
Dude, Stevie Wonder,
super
man.
catchy song.
It is.
Come
It's
on.
just too. It's super catchy. I don't know what it is about that.
Cool. No, not Coolio. It had was it Cisco?
Did it?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
All right.
Lots of news this week.
All right. Speaking of
But I've never
news,
seen that movie.
now we can get to the real news.
Here we go.
Real, actual news.
Hard-hitting.
That happened. Hard-hitting journalism here.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, somebody found a Nintendo patent application for a new video game controller, and I will link to it in the show notes here. You probably want to see what this thing is all about, but basically it's a controller where the screen is part of the controller
Isn't that the Wii U controller?
in more than the way the gamepad screen works. No, the screen kind of surrounds what look like analog sticks and pop-up information, and including buttons, non-physical buttons that you can press.
That's something.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I will say. And yeah, I don't know if the shapes that they show on in the diagrams there are actual like analog sticks, or if they're more like nubbins or something, or like like some keyboards will have like the little notch on the F and the J, so that you can tell where your fingers are without having to look.
Right.
Like, so you could have the controller in your hand and have your finger on this nubbin and know where your finger is, but not have to look down at the screen all the time. It's interesting. I don't know what else to say about it than that. I mean,
Well, it's using that. I mean, we knew from maybe it was like a year ago that Sharp was making these panels where you could kind of make them any shape that you want.
Yeah,
And Nintendo was looking into that stuff back then. I don't know if they had a partnership with them or whatever, but I think this would be a cool idea if they could do something like the Force Touch trackpad on the MacBooks, where you could at least, if you're going to push down on something, you get feedback. Because that's my big problem with the iPhone and other touchscreen stuff is like you don't really know if you actually hit it, but like with the Force Touch trackpad, it's like a piece of glass with just like a vibrator thing underneath it, where it's not actually moving. It just feels like it's moving. If they could do something like that, that controller, I would feel a lot better. But I think with any of this stuff, it's just kind of fun to guess what this is going to be for.
It's interesting because it brings up like a help menu that then shows you exactly what the buttons do on the screen of the controller.
It's cool.
Yeah, whenever Nintendo does something like this, they always seem to have a specific game in mind, and you got to wonder what this one is all about. What game?
I think
have in the wings.
Does this look expensive to you guys? Like, does it look like they could still get something under $300? Because if this is, a controller and you would like to play with, I just think they can't run into the Wii U situation where, you have one main controller and then everyone else has a worse controller.
Right.
Like a controller where they feel like they're not the main part of the action. I think this is like if they sold this thing as like this is the NX controller, it's going to be like what, $80 or $100 for this thing, depending on the quality of the panel. But
yeah, I mean, even if it's iPod Touch quality, like an iPod Touch is what, like $120 at this point.
Right, and then it's like, is this the thing that's the portable? Like, what is the portable thing?
Yeah.
That's our whole guess is like this is a joint portable that you can dock into a TV to then make it a console home-like experience. I think what this patent is really just showing us is that what they would like to do on a screen that's on the controller, that's not what the controller is going to look like at all. It's going to probably look completely different. It might be bigger. It might be iPhone 6 Plus like size or something like that. But who knows? It's fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. I I'm sure a lot of people will condemn it. based on no physical buttons. What do you mean?
But
there is a point to that. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah,
I generally
I would not
want
have
physical
to look
buttons
for that.
on a game system I'm using with the TV for sure.
Mhm.
No, I personally like to play games on the iPhone. I understand that people don't.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, that's not even. I like to play games on the iPhone as well, but that's not the same as saying I'm okay with a virtual controller, or like virtual buttons, because it's not really the same thing, right? Obviously. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. 2016. We're supposed
Tell you
to.
what's going to happen in 2016.
What?
Game prices in Canada are going to go up. That's what's going to happen in 2016.
Is that really
It's
happening?
going to cost me over $100 for a video game next year.
Go up again?
Yep. The loonie keeps the Canadian dollar keeps dropping, and the US dollar is still rising.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, that was for a work thing that I do. I saw it was like super bad, the conversion rate of Canadian
like
to
72
US
cents
right now.
My
Yeah, it's
God.
bad.
Yep. And
So-
if it keeps going, and the thing is like back when the dollar was on par, Canadian dollar was on par, nothing changed. None of the prices changed. But the second it hits these thresholds, we
Right.
get price increases like crazy.
It's better for your economy, though. That's what I was told. To have a weak Canadian
Is it?
dollar.
Okay.
I've heard, yeah. I mean, for exports and stuff.
It's better. Yeah, it is
Tourism.
better.
Tourism.
Mhm.
I'm already planning
That is true.
my Canada trip for 2016.
Gotta
What do you mean?
get a Christmas tree next year. I heard they're really good.
We send one to Boston. Just cut a piece off the one we send to Boston every year.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
You haven't gone and seen it yet, have you?
God, Jess gave me some fire for that this week. God, I turned her on your guys' show, and she got super pissed at me as a
Good.
Canadian resident for
It's important. That
for not caring about the Christmas tree that you
tree
guys.
signifies something important, and you should go see it.
That's
I
right.
can't tell if you're being serious or
I'm
not.
being totally serious. It really does. Maybe you know what? There's a task for you. Tell me next week what the importance of it is.
We'll play some Charlie Brown Christmas music.
Yep.
Great.
That's right.
Behind you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about what we have been playing?
Sure.
Mhm.
All right. Let's do that. Greg, you want to tell us about games you got?
All I really tried this week that was new was a game for the Wii U called Fast Racing Neo.
Mhm.
Which is
Yes.
a crap title, to be honest, but just a very generic title. But really cool little game. It's basically a hovercraft racer along the lines of F. Everyone says it's like F-Zero. I would categorize it way more as Wipeout, personally.
hmm
It just looks like Wipeout. It's got a really cool style to it, and so hovercraft racing game, really fast. But the wrinkle there is that the boost pads are actually two different colors, and you can change the say polarity color of your ship at will. It's very much like Ikaruga, the shooter Ikaruga.
Mhm.
And if you go over these pads and you are the same color as the pad, you get this ridiculous speed boost. But if you hit these pads and you're the opposite color of the pad, it actually slows you right down. And it's cool because when you're playing it, you have to kind of get into a rhythm on each track. Like not only do you have to navigate and to race around the other vehicles, but you kind of you've got to memorize the track a little bit, and you've really got to get. If you can get into a good rhythm where you're switching right at the right times, you can just get ridiculous speed, and it's just loads of fun. It's like $20. It's a really small download, which for how good it looks is kind of surprising. And yeah, it's just really fun to pick up and play. I haven't gotten too far in it, but every time I've picked it up and played it, I've really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
After I figured it out, first race was kind of rough, but
How's
but
the
after that-
variety in the tracks and the circuits or cups or whatever they'd have?
I haven't gotten that far into it, to be honest. And I'm guessing there can't be a ton, but I mean, there's a lot of different vehicles to unlock,
Okay.
so I don't know.
Do you think it's going to scratch that F-Zero itch that people are like, God, Nintendo, we need an F-Zero?
I don't think. I really don't. Like I said, people want it to. And in a lot of reviews, you saw that it's not the same kind of game. It's just not. It feels way more like Wipeout than F-Zero.
That's cool though. I like Wipeout.
And that's not. Yeah, I mean that's not an indictment of the game at all. But the thing is that I definitely don't hold those games as equal. They're two different types of game in the same genre, and as far as it being like a Wipeout clone, I think it's really great. But I would not call it a replacement for F-Zero. I still think Nintendo needs to do another F-Zero, or get somebody else to do another F-Zero.
Should, yeah.
Honestly, they just need to re-release F-Zero X on a new console. I'd be happy with that.
Really? You guys are big F-Zero X fans? Like the N64 game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that game.
So good. So good. I mean, I love the original as well, and I liked GX or whatever the one was that came out on the GameCube, but F-Zero X was like...
In fact,
wow.
when I bought the N64, finally, I didn't buy it at launch, actually, and I bought the system that I think it came with F-Zero X at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or I bought it in a bundle from Best Buy.
The thing about that game was, I mean, it was silky smooth. They were smart because they flat shaded a lot of stuff in that game so that it would run really well and look good. But it had like 30 vehicles on the track.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they added in just enough combat where you could boost to the left or right or spin to create to create a little bit of aggression. And it worked. It was just enough. And the track design was great, and of course the music was great, and the action was so fast. It was just, I love that game. That is like hands down my favorite N64 game.
All right.
We need more racing games, like more arcadey racing games that are not Need for Speed.
I agree.
Which I've heard rumors that the new Need for Speed is post most recent patch is actually getting pretty good.
I don't even know what the new Need for Speed is.
Nobody does.
I
didn't even know it was coming out until it was out.
And what we need is Forza Horizon 3 next year.
True.
Yes. I'm all
yes,
in
sir.
on that.
Yes, sir. That's the best racing game that's come out since Burnout Paradise.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Okay. Then
it's great.
Everyone go buy it.
Also, 80s arcade racer.
Yes, I'm definitely interested in that. When is that? Is that coming out soon, or is it out already? Or
they released a trailer a couple of months ago.
The last trailer was one that really got me.
Yeah, the last trailer was really good.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure when that's actually out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys interested in the new Dirt that got announced? I guess it's out on Steam. It's not
Dirt Rally.
Yeah, it's a new Dirt, but I guess it's not the Colin McRae Dirt. It's more of a real hardcore rally racer.
I'm definitely interested in it because I want to go back and try one of those. Like, I want them to go back and try that again because back when it was the Colin McRae series, and even the first few games in the Dirt series were fantastic games.
Dude, Dirt 2. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
But like the last one I played was Dirt Showdown, and I was not crazy about it. Didn't do much for me.
Ubisoft's got that Trackmania game that they delayed out of 2015. It's coming out in 2016, so that's another one. That'll be good.
I think the best thing that Dirt ever did was say my name when I started the game up, and I thought that's so not used enough. Like having games say, like if you type in your name and it recognizes it saying, "Hey, Greg, welcome back to Dirt 2." Like that's just such a simple, awesome, like really cool thing. It's like, man, games are cool today.
This game knows my name.
Yeah.
Dirt's great.
That hot lady just said my name.
That hot lady.
Like in Fallout 4, you can tell it what your name is, right?
Right.
Are you still playing Fallout 4, CJ?
I am, yes.
You haven't talked about it in a while.
I am. I played Fallout 4 today, in fact.
Okay.
Cool.
Doing a bunch of side missions, just kind of dicking around with that. Not doing the story missions quite yet. Still fun.
Yeah, my Mr. Face-Off is taking a vacation. He's taking a couple weeks off since there's other stuff coming out, and
yeah,
I'm starting to have to pare things down a little bit.
You know what? I had forgotten the controls on Just Cause 3. I went back to it, by the way.
Jesus Christ.
I had not played a whole lot of it, to be fair, but I played enough of it where they taught me some things with the controller that now I had forgotten over the course of a week. And I went back to it, and I started broadcasting on Twitch, and I don't even remember. I didn't even remember like how to activate the
grapple.
not the grapple, the thing where you like harness two things and then hit the grapple together. Yeah. I didn't remember how to do that. So, and I didn't remember how to fly in the wingsuit. And it was very bad. It was bad.
Don't you just fall from a really large height and then
smash into walls?
It was a really bad first 20 minutes of that stream, and then it got better. It got better.
But to be fair, 15 of those minutes were loading time.
Well, yeah. And oh my god, the loading time, especially once you start redoing challenges. Oh.
So they haven't fixed this. Has there been like an update since you started playing it or anything?
No update, no.
Weird.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, loading time is still bad, but the game itself is really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, like I am really finding it very close to the experience I had with Crackdown back in the day. Just really love going into a new place and liberating the city.
Right.
It's just like really fun to just jump around and grapple everywhere, and it's just a lot of fun. The graphics are great too. I mean, it's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Not much to complain about there, but yeah, if you have not picked it up and are looking forward to Crackdown or loved the original Crackdown, just like an open world where you can basically just, play in a sandbox, then check it out.
I've seen a surprising lack of actual sandboxes in those sandbox games.
No, there's plenty of beach area. There's plenty of sand, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of beach. Yeah, a lot of beach in Just Cause 3.
Have you been doing a lot of like the side mission stuff? Like that's what I've been doing, and I actually find them quite fun, especially like the weapon stuff. It'll be like, here's a rocket launcher or here's a tank, blow shit up for two minutes and try to get 5 stars, and then we'll also, if you do good, we're going to give you a brand new weapon that you can call in whenever you want and stuff.
Yeah, I have been doing that stuff, yes. And I've been having quite a bit of fun with both the, like, here's a vehicle or a thing you can destroy a lot of stuff with, and the races are awesome.
Yeah.
The little thing where you have to drive some vehicle into a target and bail out before you get there. That can be pretty entertaining. I've had to redo a lot of those because, mess up or something.
Well, I was just curious because that seems to be one of the big cons that people are giving that game. Is like people are like, oh man, I can't believe they unlock all this stuff behind like the side missions. But even like the driving stuff, which I would never do, like driving side missions and stuff like that. But they set up these like races or these like bomb runs with like crazy jumps where you're just like flying and going off of like crazy hills. So you're just like spending so much time in the air, and they also give you tons of control of the car in air. You can just do whatever you want, so you can like course correct and all this. And I was just like, man, this is just, it is a lot of fun. And I've just been surprised that people are giving these side missions so much crap. They actually put side missions together, or these barriers that actually want to go do, as a change of pace. And
I agree. And I find them a lot of fun, and then the side missions, like usually when you're done with the side mission, it leaves you off in an area where you can do more stuff. Like,
right.
It's not like, oh, you got to the end of this thing, now you're going to have to work your way back. Like, you can basically just start playing right there from whatever you're doing. So I like all that stuff, so I'm with you.
Yeah,
not a knock against the game.
It's a cool game. I just have been really surprised the backlash this game has gotten for being so much like Just Cause 2. Like even in the Player One thread on NeoGAF, some people were saying like, man, I can't believe Kevin likes that game. Like that game sucks. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like obviously, like I'm a different person, and I like having just like crazy stuff happen in my games all the time, and it's
and I never played Just Cause 2, so I don't have any frame of reference here. And if it's just like Just Cause 2, then hey, fine. Like, fine with me. I don't care about that. More of a good game is not a bad thing. So, I picked up SteamWorld Heist.
Oh God.
this week. You were not a fan of SteamWorld Dig, is that
No,
correct?
I wasn't.
Oh, well, I guess you don't like good games then.
No, you know what
SteamWorld
happened?
Dig.
You know what happened with that game? And it's funny because I say that, and I played through the game.
Yeah.
I finished that game.
Yeah.
The game was oversold.
Yeah, I think
You guys really like? Was it you and Phil? Like friggin'?
I mean, you made that sound
loved-
like it was the greatest thing ever
You
made.
made me buy that game, and I'm kind of on Greg's. Like I was like, it's okay.
Exactly.
really. All right.
I would
all
I
right.
would never call it a bad game, but it's just not.
I had a lot of fun with it. Just saying, and Phil did too, so I'm not alone. I know that. And
Totally.
a lot of people recommended the game, so I think it probably was oversold to you guys anyway. But SteamWorld Heist is their new game.
Mhm.
Has the same sort of aesthetic, and it is a turn-based shooter in the, I would say, most closely resembles something like Valkyria Chronicles or
Really?
yeah, whatever that one that Nintendo released, codename Steam. But it's in 2D. It's side-on 2D, and you are a robot spaceship captain, and you are basically like, it's kind of like Firefly in that way. You have a ragtag crew of robots with you, and you are doing various missions. That's like saving people from scrappers that are trying to invade, or they've got some of their loot hostage or whatever. So you board ships and navigate them and liberate the stuff and all of their loot and go back to the exit. So I mean, I'm not selling it well in that description, perhaps, but I would say it's worth checking out the trailer on that one. It's a really interesting mechanic. I like it quite a bit. I'm only at the beginning of it, but I'm liking the aesthetic, and the writing, of course, is just like it was in SteamWorld Dig. Very smart stuff. It is a little pricey. It's like $17.
Do you know if there's a demo?
There is no demo,
Oh,
sadly. But watch some videos and see what you think. I think Don Koopman from NWR has a couple of videos on his channel. He did the review for Nintendo World Report, and he loves the game. I think he likes SteamWorld Dig a lot too, so take that with a couple of grains of salt. But but I'm going to be playing more of this over the holidays, I'm sure.
I saw it getting great reviews all over the place, so I'm sure you're
Yeah, it did. It got like 8s and 9s pretty much throughout. So
out of nowhere. That's cool.
yeah, pretty awesome. Rock Band 4. So they put out an update to Rock Band this week that gives you the export from Rock Band 3.
Mhm.
Oh, finally.
Awesome.
Yeah. So now I have over 500 tracks to
Big
play
day in the Johnston household.
in Rock Band 4, because Rock Band 4 is 83 songs. So
Huh.
download the entire set list, and at least on the Xbox One, you can delete any songs you don't want to keep. They're downloaded individually. So yeah, I got a lot of tracks to
That's
play.
awesome.
And I guess the exports for Rock Band 1 and 2 are coming in the new year. So that's awesome. That game is great.
Rock Band's still fantastic.
Yes, indeed. Played a little bit of Yoshi's Woolly World. That game is a lot of fun, of course. And Super Mario Maker, been doing some of that too. So I played some of the event stages to unlock some more of the Mystery Mushroom characters. They have, I don't know if you know, they have a Mercedes-Benz thing going on. You can unlock
I saw
like
that.
a mushroom of the GLA, and they have a stage you have to go through to get it. And it's just one big advertisement for Mercedes. It's pretty funny.
Well, didn't they have a car for Mario Kart 8, or was that
They
BMW?
did.
Yep, they had a
Yeah.
couple cars in Mario Kart 8,
Oh,
and
what's
there
up
was
with Nintendo and
huge
Mercedes?
backlash. What I
Huge
was
backlash.
I was surprised to see was that there wasn't really like a big shit show about this week. Because when I saw the release, I was like, oh my god, the internet's gonna go nuts again.
Well, we need to see what like Miyamoto is driving. Like, if everyone at Nintendo is getting a free car.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Reggie, what do you
pretty
driving?
cool little thing. You press up on the D-pad and Mario gets out of the car, and you can do like car honking noises, and there's like wheels screeching when you come to a stop fast. It's good. It's pretty interesting. But I also got the Famitsu mascot, Neki the Fox,
That's cool.
and Cat Mario, Cat Peach, and a bunch of others. The event courses are pretty fun to do, I gotta say. And I do hope that Nintendo continues to support Mario Maker with new stuff through the new year. That would be great. They did the frog suit, actually, as one of the mystery mushrooms, so unfortunately I think that means we won't be getting it in the Super Mario 3 stages, but 'cause it's not the same functionality. but there you go. Anyway, that's what I've been playing. So Kevin, you're up.
Man, I actually got to play a lot of games this week. The big one that I want to talk about is Wolfenstein: The New Blood, because when I brought Wolfenstein up last week, I was like, oh yeah, I totally bought The New Blood on a Steam sale, and I haven't played it yet. And that discussion last week was making me remember, like, man, I really love that last game. So I checked it out, and believe it or not, this game is outstanding. It is a ton of fun. It is Wolfenstein. It's in that same engine, but it takes place, of course, before the new. No, I'm playing the Old Blood. I apologize. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. So it's the
New Order, Old Blood.
Whatever. I don't know. So it's the game that takes place before the game that came out a while back. So it's kind of like a remake of Wolfenstein 3D, if you want to think about it that way. You go to Castle Wolfenstein, and you kill a bunch of Nazis, and you still get to blow their arms and heads off whenever you're shooting them with guns. And there's a bunch of new enemy types, which are a lot of fun to fight. They're not super complicated. It's mostly just like try to run behind them and shoot the thing that's on their back, and that's going to cause them to like blow up into some gibs, which is still fun. And
is it gibs or jibs?
Whatever. I think you can go either way, like ludicrous gibs or jibs.
GIF or GIF? Is it JPEG or JPEG?
I think
it's GIF and it's JPEG. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. So I would just recommend that because it's been really cheap on like PlayStation 4 and the PC. Like I think, Greg, you picked up for $10, right?
Yep.
Did
or I think it was 16 or something like that.
Have you been playing it?
No, not yet.
Oh God, it's really good, and it's just like a real simple first-person shooter that is really fast. It is. I mean, it's Wolfenstein, so if you liked the one that came out last year, you're really going to like this. And it still surprisingly has a pretty cool story. Like you have an antagonist that you're kind of going up against, and he tortures you, and he screws with your friends, and it's a nice thing to push you along. But the new guns are ridiculous. The new double-barrel shotgun, it just chops people in half.
Sweet.
So this is maybe not a game that you want to pick up for the kids, but highly recommended for what I've been seeing it for, like $10 on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and on PC, and you can just get some kind of old school first-person shooter fun, but it's a great game. The only downside is, I think, from what I've seen in the game so far, a lot of reused assets in this game. Like they're doing a lot of copy pasting in the areas. So you're kind of like doing the same stuff a lot, especially in the first like maybe hour of the game. You're doing a lot of the same stuff, but like it's still like a new group comes up and they're going to give you a bunch of awesome guns or turrets or rockets or something to blow these people up, and you're going to have fun doing it because we have a country divided right now in the United States, but we can all get behind shooting Nazis in the face, blowing their arms off, and putting a knife into a cyborg dog that is a Nazi. Like the dogs are Nazis. Like they're Nazis. Yeah. Okay, so I don't feel bad.
Seriously, let's focus all of our angst on Germany. It's just
19 like
I really don't feel like that's what Kevin was saying.
Late 1930s alternate history Germany. When like the alternate Nazis that had technology that like was little nuts, like the Hydra of the of that universe. So, and the only thing that I'm kind of confused about is that this game cannot have a happy ending because unless this is an alternate universe of the Wolfenstein franchise where you don't get into the new order, the new blood or
You
whatever.
were, yeah.
So that will be fun to find out. But yeah, I just kind of like sat down and played that for a couple hours today, which doesn't really happen super often. So play it.
How does it look curved?
Actually, I've been playing it on my PC because one of my
Oh.
Christmas gifts is I'm getting a wireless Xbox 360 USB adapter thingy.
Ooh, nice.
So I have a curved monitor on my desktop too, so it actually looks good on that. But I'm gonna see if
Hello,
I
Mr.
Look at this
Fancy
guy.
Pants.
yeah, I know. Well, I'm gonna see if I can. I don't know if my 970 will upscale to 4K for my TV, but we'll see because it runs like on ultra settings, like super smooth. Like it is not a super demanding game, so we'll see.
So what you're saying is that the game gives me motion sickness already on the Xbox One. If I were playing it on your system, I would just throw up at the title screen.
I guess so. I think it locks at 60 on the computer, but yeah, you probably want to bring it down to like maybe a Cinema 24 frames per second or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool effect for the game. And it also does have like I did find a secret area with a bed where you go to sleep and then you go back into Wolfenstein 3D. So I finished. I think it would have been level 2 or floor 2 of Wolfenstein 3D, which is
That's
pretty
cool.
It is because you're like. You look exactly the same as you do in the new game, but everything is old, and it kind of like is weird how it when you turn around
That's
stuff.
a nice touch.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was good memories for that game. Also, right before the show, right before I started watching the WWE TLC pre-show, I was playing Yakuza 4.
Ooh.
Yes, because this is a game that's been sitting as a PlayStation Plus game on my console for months, and my PlayStation Plus account ran out, and I bought a new year of PlayStation Plus today, and like, all right, fine. I have to, if I'm going to do that, I have to start playing through this game because I played maybe 16 hours with 3 and didn't beat it. Like 3 is a long game, but I know enough of the story to go into 4, and I bought 5 already because I wanted to support 5 coming out because it's just an awesome franchise, and it is. I think I mentioned before on the show, but it's kind of like the spiritual successor to Shenmue.
I was gonna say, isn't that where Shenmue went? Really, like
it is
because those games play like Shenmue.
Yeah, because as someone that's been to Japan, a couple times, like the way that they recreate the downtown areas of like Shibuya and Shinjuku are shockingly realistic, down to like streets that I can really walk down in this game and be like, oh my god, they just photocopied the street and put it in the game. And the games are ridiculous. Like it is an over-the-top, crazy, Japanese, like kind of like crime drama. Like one of the famous crime drama book writers actually does the scripts for these games. And the one thing I'll say is the localization is just incredible. Like they're just really humorous. Like even in the first, I'm probably like 90 minutes into this game, and just kind of the way that it starts off and like the character interactions and the dialogue is really, really funny. So I'm looking forward to playing that because it's just like and it looks surprisingly good. Like on the PlayStation 3, they were pushing the crap out of that thing with Yakuza 4, and from what this is all stemmed from seeing people like post images and GIFs of Yakuza 5 and seeing how absolutely batshit crazy that game is. I'm like, okay, I have to get through these games before what will eventually be my Uncharted 4 PlayStation 4 purchasing, because I really want to get through these games because it's a game that is kind of like made for me, and it's kind of like made for people that like to do Japan stuff and Shenmue stuff. And finally, CJ, I'm playing through Zelda for the first time. Zelda: Ocarina of Time on the 3DS.
Wait, for the first time?
On the 3DS.
Never played that.
On the 3DS. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because Back in My Place coming back, I'm actually recording episode tomorrow. So the show is going into another season or whatever you would want to think of it. But I want to talk about this game just briefly because I just realized that now the 3DS is kind of the home to play Zelda games, except for A Link to the Past. Like it has Link Between Worlds, which is a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Ocarina of Time, the best version of Ocarina of Time, which is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And it has Majora's Masks with improvements to that game, making it an outstanding game. You know, Triforce Heroes. Let's just pretend it didn't happen. So, with those
Sure.
those three games plus Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link's Awakening on the Virtual Console, like if you want to play Zelda games, like this is the
Yeah.
console to kind of play them on.
I agree.
And I'm just kind of blown away. This was a launch game, right, for the 3DS when it came out?
No, it was not a launch game. It came out
Oh.
a few months later. So I think it came out in July. The 3DS came out at like the end of March.
Okay. It looks awesome. Like,
Oh yeah.
wow, like it's like locked at 60. It really looks great, and
Colors look awesome too. Yeah.
even the 3D is good.
Mhm.
On it with the new 3DS with the eye tracking thing, it's working pretty good. But the big thing with this is I played this game maybe like once every 2 years, and I can't believe how much I've forgotten about this game, and how almost proud I am playing through this as a 12-year-old. Or I guess I was 11 when this game came out. No, 12. I was 12 when this game came out, and just how proud I am that I actually made it through this game at 12 years old, because like the puzzles are somewhat complicated,
Yeah.
the stuff that you do in towns, and really just how unbelievably deep and rewarding the side quest stuff is in this game, to the point where I think I'm going to try to like 100% this game. Like I've never
Whoa.
done that before, but CJ and I have some time until we're going to do this recording for it, so I have a couple
Right.
weeks to do it, and hopefully we'll have a special guest for it, but I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey guys, Zelda Ocarina of Time still it's pretty good. Heads
It
up.
is, yeah. On the 3DS, it looks great. And I think it was hard to find a physical copy for a little
Right.
while there, but you can still get it on the eShop. Um,
It was out of
It's-
print, but Nintendo at Nintendo.com store they
yeah, I think they still
prints
have it.
in. Yeah.
I think they did a reprint recently too. Yeah, Ocarina of Time is one of those games that I think Ocarina of Time is what really made me a Zelda fan. And
Really?
I realized this. I realized it when Link Between Worlds came out, that I had played probably more or finished more Zelda games than Mario games. Even though I like platformers a whole lot, I think I finished more Zelda games than Mario games. Yeah. And Ocarina of Time came out around Thanksgiving, and came out like right before Thanksgiving in 97 or 98.
98.
Remember? 98. Okay. And the entire Thanksgiving weekend was me in my parents' basement playing Ocarina of Time, and I knew, like, if I could not get through the game by the end of the weekend, I would never get through it. Like, I'd forget about it, wouldn't finish it. So basically, I stayed up. I beat the game at like 3 in the morning on Sunday morning.
That's awesome.
It was the most amazing thing. Like, the ending to that game is so great, and yeah, I that's one of my great gaming achievements, is that I finished Ocarina of Time in the launch weekend. That does not happen with me with very many games. And I had the Versus Books strategy guide, which is actually really, really good.
Not the Nintendo Power official.
No, I don't think so. Maybe
The
I have
awesome
that too.
glossy. It had like the foil cover.
Oh yeah, I have that as well, but I used the Versus Books one more because they did this whole thing, non-spoiler guides,
Oh,
where it doesn't
weird.
like tell you exactly what you're gonna do, but it tells you what to do. It doesn't
That's-
spoil the story beat.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was one of the selling points on their strategy guides. Loved their stuff, and they've I think they reprinted it when it came out on GameCube too. But yeah, I have very fond memories of Ocarina of Time. Great game.
It's surprising, just like while I've been playing it the last couple of days, just how little 3D Zelda has changed. Like that is the blueprint. And,
Yeah.
just like almost Super Mario 64 is the blueprint for the 3D Mario stuff. Like, God, N64 Nintendo.
Also, the crazy thing is, you look at 3D games from that era, and how things have gone now. Like, I mean, look at Tomb Raider from that era and how Tomb Raider has completely changed.
Disgusting.
You can't say that really that the core game is the same, but yeah, 3D Zelda, yeah, core game, very similar.
Do you guys know of any developer or publisher that was just so far ahead of the game? Like I can only think of like id maybe with first-person shooters.
Maybe as far as the 3D transition.
No, just any time in like video game history when there was just some developer that was so far ahead of the game
Yeah.
of everyone else. Like Nintendo at that time from 96 to 98 was the best they've maybe ever been.
I would say, excuse me, I would say you could say the same thing about Square and Enix in the first part of the 90s.
Right.
Because, I mean, everything that they released was just amazing at the time.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I'd say Konami during the 16-bit era as well. The beginning of it.
I don't know about Konami in the six. I think Konami is more of like an 8-bit. Like their NES stuff was
their NES stuff was killer, and so was Capcom's. But I mean, I'd say like from like 91 to 95.
Okay.
They released very little junk.
We count Rondo Blood. Okay.
Yeah.
Video games were really good back then.
They're still good today. They're still good.
Watch Generation 16.
Video games are still awesome. Let's just
They are.
get that out of the way.
I want this guide that CJ's talking about.
I'm sure you can find it on
You probably
eBay.
have that
Not-
game
not the-
memorized. You don't
not the
need that
Brady
guide.
games.
I think I have 2 copies, so maybe I'll send you my second copy, Kevin.
No, I'll buy one. Let me just. I want
I
you
may
to
have 3
save.
copies. Let me look on my bookshelf. I
That
loved
wouldn't
this
surprise
guide. Let me just say, loved it.
Oh no, I just found it. It's $13.
Okay, it's worth every
Kevin's
penny of that.
bought 3.
$13.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, and not to throw it off topic one more time, but strategy guides back then, like the non-official strategy, the unofficial, like unauthorized strategy guides is what I kind of had to buy because like the Nintendo Power ones were so expensive. So for like GoldenEye, I always got like the unofficial, unauthorized one, or for like Kobe Bryant's NBA courtside, I got the like unofficial one. I don't know if you guys just have any crazy guide memories, but that's my memory.
I don't. I had written. So I wrote EGM's N64 Player's Guide, and along with John Riccardi. John Riccardi did the Mario stuff, and then I did GoldenEye, or not GoldenEye, Pilot Wings, and whatever else came out at launch.
Do you still have these?
I do have them, yeah. And
Oh,
then
that's
I bought
awesome.
like a Brady Games guide, and some other company did a guide at the N64 launch, and they were terrible. So I was very proud of the work that we had done on this other guide because, man,
Were they still
competing
counting like
guides at the time.
Nintendo Ultra 64?
yeah, it was
Great.
it was bad.
Telling you, do multiple guides a month on their monthly deadline. That was my first job at Ziff
Oh,
Davis.
that's what you had to do. That's right. Yeah.
What was your first guide?
The first one I did that actually got published was actually Final Fantasy VI. The first one I started with was actually Grandia.
Do you just hate all the games that you wrote guides for?
No, I don't actually. I really liked that job a lot. I'd never done it before when I got hired to do it, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it didn't hurt that the first 2 games I had to do were 2 of my favorite games ever. But yeah, I mean, it was fun because you could be really creative. Like I still remember, I was really super proud of one of the ones I did for one of the Tomb Raider games, because as soul crushing as this sounds, and it was, I mapped out the entire game on graph paper in like 3 weeks, in 2.5 to 3 weeks, because it needed to be written and published as well.
And
But
you
I
got
did
paid by the guide, right? Not by the hour.
No, I was paid a salary.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah,
Not
But
even
yeah,
by the hour.
the fun thing about it was that we took it and just made it look really cool. Made it look kind of old and wrinkled, and we got Jennifer Whitesides, who was our copy editor, she rewrote all my notes in like a really girly, scrolly handwriting,
cool.
which probably doesn't fit the character when I really think about it now, but back then we thought we were brilliant. So that and
many
Crazy
guys-
Taxi, I got to map out the city in Crazy Taxi. That was kind of cool as well.
Where's the closest
Nice.
KFC?
I don't remember now, but I can go find the issue and tell you later.
How many people
Yeah.
must know you guys just from those guides? Like, you guys saved people.
Nobody bought Expert Gamer.
All right. I'm wrong.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, Tips and Tricks was way more successful than that magazine was.
That's what I got.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I at one point I thought that I would try to collect Nintendo players guides.
super hard to
I
buy.
thought
now.
that was a good idea.
Still have the
Yeah,
first few.
and I think I have a couple. I have a pretty good collection, but I don't have any like super amazing stuff. Well, I guess I have the original Nintendo Player's Guide, and I have How to Win at Super Mario Brothers, which is an
Gotta have
awesome
it.
book. That's like a life-changing book, really. I mean,
I still
it's
have
just a guide to life
Right.
in general.
Final Fantasy 1 and the Ninja Gaiden.
How am I going to ask a girl out? It's probably in the How
It's
to Win
in
at
the
Super
Mario
Mario.
Guide.
That guy was
Yeah.
great.
Like sorry, one last thing. Just because it's fun talking to you guys. So I got Link's Awakening like when it launched. Like that was the game I needed to have. I got it for Christmas in 1993, and it was amazing. But I got stuck on the second dungeon for about a year because there's one room where you have to kill these enemies in a certain order, and I just couldn't figure it out. And I spent hours traveling through this dungeon to try to figure it out. And then finally, I got to renew my Nintendo Power subscription, and it came with a free guide, and I got to select the and no, that's what it was. We had to actually call them to do it by the phone because it wasn't in that like order form where you could check it off.
Hmm.
So we had to like special order or renew my subscription with my dad to get the Link's Awakening guide, and then like a year after I started playing that game, I finally got through the second dungeon.
You want
Wow.
to talk great? You want to talk great guides? I think it was either Sierra Online or LucasArts. I can't remember which, but I think it was Sierra. Where when you get a guide for their games, it would come with one of those little red plastic films, right? So you
That's
didn't
right.
get the information unless you used that thing to actually uncover the hints that you need. Just spoiler free. Great.
One of my favorite guide things is the Final Fantasy III guide. I forget, it was like Sandwich Islands, or maybe it was Brady that put this out. Anyway, whoever put it out, where the author was Hyaku Kaku or Hayaku Kaku, and basically Fast Rider was the pseudonym that, because apparently they had to like very quickly put out this guide, and it was like an all text guide too, like hardly any screenshots.
I have a Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
VIII guide
III.
that's like that.
Yeah.
I think Square actually wouldn't let unlicensed guides use screenshots because they were always
I think
really
you're
weird
right.
about publishing screenshots of their games, like
Hmm.
really weird about it.
Yeah, there's a Final Fantasy guide by Versus Books that is extremely
That's the one I
rare,
have.
too, for the same reason, because they took the screenshots and used art, and they weren't supposed to.
There was one other one I remember, and the only reason I remember this is because of Crispin Boyer. The Kingdom Hearts guide, I don't know which company did it, but in Kingdom Hearts, one of the quests was to find all 101 Dalmatians, Dalmatian puppies or something like that.
Oh Jesus!
I think that's what it was. And anyway, the guide came with a sticker sheet, little circular stickers of all the dogs that you would put on the maps, I think. So, like I said, the only reason I know this is because one night at EGM, we were working there late, and somehow Dan Shu got Crispin Boyer talking about this guide, and he got really excited about it. He was so pumped about the fact that you had these little Dalmatian stickers that you could stick on the maps so that you knew that you gotten these Dalmatians, right? Like, that's what it was to keep track of which Dalmatians you got. And he was like so pumped, and there was just something weird about him getting so excited about it. The whole office went really quiet while he was telling the story. And he finishes getting all excited about this, and then like, I don't know, about 30 seconds passes and no one says anything. He's like, if you like that shit. Anyway, I remember that vividly for some reason.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, should
How
we
do we
do
get
some
to talk about guides? Holy crap!
This is good. Strategy guide talk.
Remember the working designs guides? Hardcover novel size.
Yeah.
Got a few
I
of
have
those
some of
over
those
there.
still.
Yeah.
Should we do some tweets?
Show.
All right,
Are they
let's do
about
this
guides?
one. What?
Are there any about guides?
No. Sadly not.
The Castle of Dr. Brain. That's a Sierra game I had with a guide.
Castle of Dr. Brain. I've never played that one.
All right, Hacker Alias Miri says, after 1 year, Amiibos are a commercial success. Do you think they succeeded or failed
Like a runaway
gameplay-wise?
freight train. I don't know. I've never used them for much gameplay.
What do you mean?
I unlocked outfits for my Mii in Mario Kart 8.
You
That's about
got, see, you got the little Mario
that.
and the
Look at that.
Robo. They're cute. And they're good with gameplay
Collectible.
stuff, too.
That's a real Amiibo.
That is the real Amiibo. Right there.
That's pretty nice.
I had I think I had that one, or I had a back in the day when they made World of Nintendo toys.
Yes.
I got a Zelda one, and I think I had a Mario one too. But yeah, so gameplay wise, I think they're okay. They're additive to the experience in a lot of these games. I have not really used them all that much in these games. I mean, I've clocked everything into Super Mario Maker so that I can use those mushrooms, but I haven't created any courses based on that or anything. I like them much more as toys than gameplay options. So
I'm hard. I can't really think of the reference, but the only thing that just worries me is that is when they would lock content behind those, like lock levels or lock special trials behind the Amiibos, which is, I forget what.
They only did that for Splatoon, though, right?
I'm not sure.
They did that for Toad, the Toad game as well.
No, Toad, they had like a secret Toad you could find in each level, like a pixel thing. It wasn't like a separate challenge or time attack or anything.
What about Mario Party?
I
Okay.
didn't play that one.
Animal Crossing Party Festival.
Amiibo Festival?
Yeah.
I've heard it's a very boring board game.
Yeah, that's not really what we're asking, though.
What are you asking?
Did the lock content behind?
No, I think it's
Did they lock content?
Mega Man. I think I may have brought this up, but I think you need like 2 different Amiibos or something like that. What the hell was it?
Oh,
Anyway,
for Mega Man, yeah, I think you're right. And Splatoon did the same kind of thing, like on
you need 2
challenges,
Mega Mans.
game content. You need specific Amiibos for.
Weird. Okay, don't do that. Stop.
Yeah, that's a
I-
slippery slope.
I don't like that so much, but for games that I like, I'll usually buy the Amiibo anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. I'm part of the problem.
Outside of adding $15 to the cost of the game.
I'm
You
part of the
pre-ordered
problem.
that, right? The Mega Man Legacy Collection with the golden Amiibo. CJ,
What about that? Am I buying it?
did you pre-order it? Yeah.
No. I'm not a Mega Man fan.
Okay.
No.
But
I
it's
think the
gold.
gold Amiibos look
Yeah.
crap.
Totally does. But they're gold, so they're worth more money.
That's
They're
right.
made of gold, so yeah.
So did they succeed or fail, gameplay wise?
Yes.
I think they should have no effect. I think the only effect that they should have is like in Super Smash
Costumes.
Brothers, where you can save data to them, or like you said, costumes. Like if it's, but it just I just hope it doesn't turn into like friggin' DLC in a piece of plastic. That would suck.
Yeah.
Which it hasn't. So we're
It
good. So
hasn't yet. So we're good. I think on that front, it's a success. And they're super quality toys, so I like it from that perspective too. And I've opened the boxes on most of them except for Pac-Man, which I bought 2 of.
they're not in a glass case. keep one in the package and one to play with.
No, I do regularly take out all the Amiibos and have a Nintendo party. It's true.
Jesus.
All right.
That's a great visual. That's a great all right, guys,
See
we're
you
all
sitting
getting
on the
together.
floor back
like,
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peach, how you doing? Oh, you're still talking to Mario? Okay, that's good.
All right. Hacker alias JZ32
God, we got.
Yep. Is RPG becoming a less meaningful term? More and more games have RPG elements, even though they're not thought of as such.
Definitely casts a wider net, but I mean, it has for a long time. Like, remember when I was a kid, for me, RPG meant Japanese RPG.
Exactly.
And
That's
nothing
right.
else.
Or a fantasy game where it was turn-based combat.
Mhm.
Well, no, but yeah, exactly. And then it's just like, even, as American games became more prominent on console, it came to mean much more just because of things like the Elder Scrolls series and, Fallout and stuff like that, which I wasn't really exposed to when I was younger because I didn't have a PC. But, I mean, I guess, I don't know if it doesn't mean as much anymore. It just
Oh,
means
do you
a
think
lot more.
you think people who bought Fallout 4 think of Fallout 4 as an RPG first?
No.
Yeah, I do.
I don't think so. Like, I have friends that have picked it up that would never ever touch anything that was an RPG, but they
Right.
pick up Fallout 4 mostly because of like the crazy stories and the they enjoy the shooting mechanics of it actually, surprisingly. So
Really, you don't think that had more to do with marketing? Because, I mean, you could say the exact same
No,
thing about
he's-
Final Fantasy VII back in the 90s, right? It's like people who didn't play RPGs bought that game.
no, but I mean he's like playing through it. Like this is a guy that works way too much. He has a family and he is finding time to play Fallout 4,
Okay.
which is surprising.
Okay. Yeah, RPG. I don't know. I still think of RPGs as Japanese.
100%.
I don't.
Turn-based,
You know,
like
yeah.
I'm gonna hit attack,
Yeah,
defend, or special or magic, or run away.
Yeah.
And those
That's
are all.
definitely where my mind goes when I hear that term.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior. That's it.
What's the last RPG that you guys finished? Japanese RPG
Ooh.
I
that
finished.
you saw the credits.
Oh, man.
Not Bravely Default that has a brick wall in front of you,
Right.
but like you
Pokemon
completed
count?
that.
The Paper Mario games?
Yeah, that counts.
Paper Mario, whatever the... actually, it was probably the last Mario and Luigi game, whichever one that was.
On the 3DS?
Yeah.
You finished that? Dream
Yeah, it
Team?
was way too long, but I finished it.
Congratulations.
What about Pokemon? Does that count?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, then yeah, Pokemon X and Y. I finished.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Before that, and if we don't count Pokemon games, I don't know.
Mhm.
So, let's see. Hacker alias Jeff E. Solomon says he's loving Just Cause 3 until they started raising the difficulty curve. What games did you love until you didn't? Is his question.
I had a bit of an issue with something like that with Project Cars this past year because I kind of, even though it was a little bit rough around the edges, I really, really liked it when I first started playing it. And then after a few weeks, I just kind of came to the realization that, like, the amount of good in that game was so overwhelmed by the amount of crap in that game that it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Can I say Sonic Generations? Because
Sure.
I really love like the first like 3 hours of that game. Then I just like felt like I was okay. Like I didn't need to play anymore.
You got enough?
But I still like bought the soundtrack. Like it's still a great game, and I think the
Soundtrack was great.
first couple worlds are unbelievably underrated.
See, I feel like you've just described the Sonic series.
Mm.
More or less, really. Started off
Sonic
incredibly
Adventure
strong.
definitely. Like I bought that at launch, and like I just stopped playing it because
No, I was more talking about the chronology of the Sonic series. Like,
okay.
Are you saying
really,
basically
really interested
like,
at the beginning and then haven't fall off completely.
Are you talking about like Sonic 1, 2, 3, where like
Yeah.
the first couple
Really,
stages
really good
are
games.
awesome,
No,
and
I'm
then
talking
like
games themselves. The games themselves.
yeah,
As
I
in,
think
like,
I
you know,
agree.
Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles,
Oh,
Adventure, Adventure 2.
I thought you were saying during
so
Sonic
on,
1, like
and
it starts
so on,
so
and
strong on Green Hill Zone, and then it gets kind of boring towards the end.
I wouldn't say it gets kind of boring. The quality goes down on it for sure, but
No,
there's
I
a reason
know.
for that.
I think Sonic 2 is exception. I think from start to finish, that game is awesome. I think Sonic 1 has a little bit of trouble, maybe in the middle, but I think it has a strong finish with the boss battle at the end.
That's
I don't
true.
know. I think Sonic 1 and 2 are just like fun games for people to crap on because they don't remember or they don't have like the balls to actually play through the game today to like see what their impressions really are. They just believe other people, and that's one of the things that just bugs me when people just blanketly make statements like, "Of course, Sonic 1 and 2 are crap now." No, sit down and play through them and actually like experience them again, and then make that decision. I think people just kind of accept the man. I shouldn't have said they don't have the balls to play that game, but you know what I mean. Like they just sit down and play them, or get like a real Sega Genesis and don't play like a crappy emulated version on a PSP, or play the good 3D remakes on the 3DS.
I agree with that.
I would agree with all that.
All right, games that you loved until you didn't. Having trouble
Sonic
coming
1,
up.
CJ?
Sonic 1. Burnout. Burnout Paradise. Burnout Paradise. Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, see, but I loved Burnout Paradise for about 10 minutes, and that was it.
Where am I? Like, what planet am I on where Burnout Paradise is not one of the best games of all time? Like, it's not Burnout 3.
No,
Right,
Burnout 3 was
Burnout
awesome.
3. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No
All
split
right.
second.
Let's wrap up with this one from Hacker Alias John Badley, who says, "Do you have any plans on how you will split up your game collection when your children move out?"
When they move out, what? What?
You're gonna split your games up. Maybe he means when you guys pass. Like, how are you gonna divvy those
When my
up?
children
between
move out, my game collection is going to live in their bedrooms.
Exactly. If
That's when
anything,
my
it
game
just
collection comes out of
expands.
storage.
No, what about games that you? I think we sort of talked about this, like Lego Dimensions, where you're playing with your children, and they may start to have memories associated with those
I
games.
feel
They may
like
want to
we
keep
won't have Lego Dimensions 10 years from now. That doesn't feel like a
Okay.
game I'm going to hang on to.
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I have not thought about this at all.
No.
This is not a question that I'm all that worried about yet.
Honey, what are we gonna do when the kids move out? How are we gonna split up the games?
We're going to get 2 TVs for the living room, one's for you, one's
No,
for
you're
me.
gonna tell them when they turn 14 to go get a job and
Buy
then
their own stuff.
go to GameStop where those games will be $1 and they can just buy all those Lego Batman games.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And when
And
I
we'll
die,
tell
I'm
them-
getting buried with all of them.
We'll tell them to start a podcast where they can talk about retro games like Lego Dimensions. it'll
Burnout
be called,
Paradise.
Yeah. Because in 15 years, these games will be retro.
Oh man, I mean, I've been thinking about doing PS2 games for that podcast because that's 2001. That was 15 years ago, guys.
Yeah, you should. Let's talk about Ridge Racer 5.
Let's talk about Oni.
Oh man, I love.
I'll give you $15 for Oni. Let's go.
Didn't they? What was that Oni? Oh my God, that fucking game. I think I reviewed that game for EGM. Speaking of Oni something, Oni Musha, didn't Capcom renew their trademark on that? Anyway, it's neither here nor there.
What are you on about?
That's for Phil, right? Like that's like a Dynasty Warriors. Well,
Oni Musha is not like Dynasty Warriors.
Okay, I guess I'm
Only
generalizing too
in
much.
maybe you could say it's like that
They got
via
swords.
the look and aesthetics, maybe.
We're Star Fox Warriors.
No,
play as Slippy.
nobody wants that. Star Fox, to me, is one of those series where The Super Nintendo game was really good, and then it was all downhill from there. They have not done another good
Ouch.
game.
By the
in
way,
that series.
CJ gave Oni a 3.5.
What?
There you go, 3.5.
That is
And
not
that
a
was-
3.5.
And that was higher than me.
That's right.
Wait, okay. I bought this when I got a PlayStation 2. The game that I bought with it was Oni because it was the only game that I could
So it was
afford.
cheap because nobody liked it.
It was
Exactly.
used. Yeah, it was used. Someone traded it in. It was the only game I could afford, and I thought it was the best looking video game I'd ever seen in my life.
Also
No.
point out that CJ, going back to earlier this episode, CJ gave Parappa the Rapper 2 a 5,
Yeah.
which is only one less than I gave it.
Middle of the road. 5. Just saying.
See, that's still a statement score. Because the safe score is 7.
Okay,
If you
and,
weren't sure what to give it, you would have given it a 7.
What?
and oh,
What do you mean?
come on, Greg.
A safe score?
We all know that. The safe score was 7.
Is that how
Don't
you-
give
is that
the
how you
internet
do your
anything.
reviews?
Not offensive, but not, like, I'm
is
not
that how you
saying
did
it's a
your
crap
reviews?
game, but I'm not saying it's a great game. You know what? You can pretend all you want, Johnston.
Greg, you probably didn't even play Oni. You just gave it that score to like get attention.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I remember playing Oni.
Yeah.
I remember. There's many reviews that I don't remember. I remember playing Oni.
That thing was pushing the PS2 so hard. I bet it broke your guys' like press kits, your dev kits
Pushing
or
it
whatever.
hard into
I
the
think
garbage
you should
can.
go back and look at it again.
Hey, would you ever thought that you would be talking about Oni 15 years later on a podcast?
No.
No.
15 years ago, I didn't know what a podcast was.
It hadn't been invented yet.
On an internet stream?
All right. We done?
I gotta find some more good CJ scores. Hang on a sec here.
Last
God.
thing I'll say is that I'm going to step back when I said the 3DS has nothing left. I just pre-ordered 5 3DS games for 2016. Actually has a damn good lineup. For
What
next
do you
year.
pre-order?
I pre-ordered the new Fire Emblem. I picked
Mhm.
up one of those. I got Dragon Quest 7 and 8.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered Mega Man Legacy Collection,
Hmm.
and well, I just want to have like a physical card of that game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy the other ones that had some problems. And something else. There's one other thing that's coming out early next year. It's Project X Zone 2.
There you go.
That's that's a lot of video games.
Cross zone. It's cross zone.
Yeah, cross zone.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Harmonix fanboy over there, CJ gave Frequency a 6.5.
Whoa.
Yeah, I guess I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I got it right in front of me.
I liked that game though.
Yeah, 6.5. It sounds like you liked it.
Do you have the print of it? Do you have the
We used
text?
the whole.
No, I
Scale.
could look it up, but
That'll be for the next episode. Let's not
Yeah.
delve into.
Next episode, you guys should just read your old reviews on the air.
we're waiting for the day when Mike and Phil and don't show up, and you and Rich aren't available.
Then we'll
That's
just
what
do
the
that
episode's
for
gonna be.
an hour
We'll
and a
have a whole
half.
stack sitting here in front of us.
Just, hey, CJ, I can't believe you gave this game this score. Hey, Greg, you suck. I can't believe you gave this game this score.
Dramatic readings.
That's right.
And just in your best versions of each other's voices.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Next up, Brittany's dance beat. Let's do it.
Hello, I'm Mr. Burns.
All right. I'm cutting it off. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our email addresses, contact info, blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
NBA Jam.
That's right. Generation 16 episodes as well.
Sometime in 2016.
That's right. Look forward to it in the new year. And you'll find a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you could do so by going to player1podcast.com or to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you will also be able to find the Player One Podcast application for the low
Yes.
price of $1.99.
Great deal.
There you go. And on the Amazon Android Play Store, you can also go find the Android version of that app for the same $1.99.
With free Prime shipping.
Yes,
Something like that.
It ships free to you.
it does ship free to you.
Yeah,
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah, unless you're at your data cap,
Good point.
then it's $30 a month. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at P1 Podcast. You can check us out on YouTube every week when we record, usually on Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, at youtube.com/P1 Podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Thank you, CJ. And if you like what you've heard, which you should because Kevin's a good guy, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast and flip us a few fins.
Just
Keep
like
the lights
that
on.
guy in the Star Wars movie.
Yeah. What?
Who's a character in the Star Wars?
I was thinking more of Phil's offspring, but
Oh, and that too. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Keeps
Adventure
the lights
Time.
on. Keeps CJ in old game guides for some reason. I don't where.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 copies of a Zelda guide. I don't get it, but whatever. I didn't get the 2 copies of Burnout Paradise either.
I like reading the novelization of the video games that I'm about to play.
I'll tell you what. 475 episodes of a podcast doesn't come cheap.
No.
The website alone costs a lot of money to keep running. We've got a great community there. You should go check it out. But that's what you're donating to when you donate a little bit of money to Patreon. So we really appreciate it. Thank you very much for all our current patrons. Yeah, if you want to go over there and give a buck an episode, it's not much to ask. We've given you at least $1 worth of entertainment, I hope, tonight.
Just on that strategy guide discussion
Between
alone.
the 3 of us. Yeah, 33 cents a piece. I think we can. Hey, CJ.
Yeah.
Thanks for hosting again this week.
Hey, no problem.
Hey, Kevin Larrabee.
Hey, Greg.
Thanks for playing the part of Phil and Mike this week.
Hey, it's always a blast, and I was happy to get some retro game discussion out of you guys this week, too. Some old-timey story time.
Heck yeah.
But there's going to be more of that coming starting on probably Tuesday. There's going to be an episode out all about Street Fighter 2 and
Nice.
about the Street Fighter 2 remastering process. I'm going to be talking to Marco, the sound engineer, on the remastering process for the Street Fighter 2 soundtrack collection, and Mohammed Tahir from Brave Wave is going to be on to talk about just like kind of like the whole process of like getting the like business deal, talking to Capcom and getting these composers together to get this stuff right. So that's going to be fun to talk to them, and of course we're also going to talk about our memories and history with Street Fighter 2, and that's
Sweet.
always fun. So, Greg, you're going to be coming on soon to convince me why the Sega CD is something that should probably be in someone's house.
To defend the Sega CD.
Yeah. So, and before people like get the wrong impression, I know there are some great games on the Sega CD. I think there's like maybe 5 great games on the Sega CD, and then there's some like okay games that you could maybe help you justify owning a Sega CD, which is fine.
That's right.
That's cool. I'm okay with that. It's no 32X, but that will be good to talk about that stuff because it is a very interesting piece of hardware in a very interesting time in video games. So it'll be good to talk about all that. And Greg's doing a lot of the legwork for that. It's just going to be mostly me interviewing him and trying to get an understanding of his illogical love for the Sega CD.
I won't argue that part. I don't think that's unfair to say at all.
I mean, next week he'll probably have like a Singapore Sega CD coming in the mail because it plays some
I wish.
special hot slots.
I've got my JVC XI down there right now.
Of course.
Nice.
And then finally, like I said before, CJ is going to be coming on with potentially a special guest from another podcast to talk about maybe one of the most important games of all time, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And
Heck yeah.
we're hopefully going to do that by the end of the year. But it's a long game, and when I wrote down what I want to do for 2016, if I do the show, it is going to be to do at least 2 RPGs in the year. So that is kind of like the goal. But
Lunar.
thank you. No,
Should do Lunar, yeah.
Suikoden.
I'm not going to get a Sega CD.
Suikoden.
The PlayStation remake of Lunar.
Yeah, Lunar's actually available on a lot of different consoles.
I have that on the PSP, but everyone has told me that it's a terrible version or something. So, but yeah, no, seriously, thank you to you guys for keeping me talking about games and helping me re-energize and recharge the batteries and talk about some other stuff. And of course, again, I always got to mention the audience is just kick-ass. And like Greg said, jump on that Patreon page because this is a lot of work that goes into the show, especially when I mess up the audio like last week for CJ. I cause him a lot of extra hours that he could be doing other stuff, and he's doing
fine.
stuff. I know, I'm just saying. Like, as someone that does podcasting, this takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of cost to run this stuff. So if you've been listening for years, $4 a month for 4 episodes a month, like that can help out a lot and can get, if you guys don't mind me saying, games like when you guys get everyone Fallout 4 and you can have a huge Fallout 4 discussion, that's huge. That makes the discussion way better. So help them to do that.
And of course, if you haven't heard of Back in My Play, at Back in My Play on Twitter, follow that and go download some old episodes. The nice thing about that show is timeless.
It's evergreen.
Yeah, and it's a positive show, which you don't see as much in other places these days, and that's the way it's going to be. And that's why I wait until I do the shows until I'm fired back up about this stuff. And my Sega Saturn's hooked up. I played some Sega Saturn stuff this week, so on a curved TV. No less.
God. All right. We're done here.
Yep.
Let's do it all again
next
week.
Yeah, next week. Let's do it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tables, ladders,